You will regret not having this in your car. It's an accessory that's very inexpensive compared to the entire price of your car. As a matter of fact, if I have a car and I got a steering wheel and I got 4 wheels and I got a windshield, the next thing that I would want to have in that car is a dash cam. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why not only it's extremely important to have one, but also it will probably pay for itself at some point. Now, the dash cams vary in price and it can be as expensive as this guy, which is a Blackview. This is a 4K dual cam, can go up to almost $600. And with cameras like that, you can actually, or you should probably actually have it installed by a professional installer. That's another $100 or so. Now, I personally prefer this one. This is installed on my car right now. It's called Street Guardian. It is also a dual cam, but what it has a little monitor here, so I can see what the dash cams see and play some of it back, because even on this expensive fancy camera you can't really do that. Now this one is about what, $250 $280, so it's kind of mid-price, which is pretty good. The quality is great. I'll be showing you a video from that camera in a second, but you can go as cheap as under $30 on Amazon. Yes, it will be something on a suction cup and you will have to plug it into the secret light adapter, but look, it's a camera. It's got a little monitor, so if anything, get something like this. Now, I should mention that all of these cameras, they run on a little chip, on a little memory chip. Most of the time, it's this micro SD card, and it looks big on the screen, but it's really tiny little bugger like this. So you just kind of put that thing in, and yes, I know that technically if someone's breaking into your car, they can take that with them, but I've never heard of that because usually they want to get away as fast as possible, and usually go for something like a laptop or a purse or something like much more valuable. So now I should mention that Tesla in the last couple of years they've implemented the Sentry mode. So they're using the cameras that are already outside of their cars, which are the autopilot cameras, and they let them record, but they let them record, and this is not included in the price of a $100,000 Tesla. This is a USB drive right here. You plug it in and it records on there. Of course, easy to get away with it, but nevertheless, it's better than nothing. Now, one thing I should mention about Tesla Sentry mode is that it does not record sound at all. So, you know, browse Amazon or whatever and check out whatever you can afford, but you know, I really think that it should be a dual cam, HD, and have sound, and so please, you know, this is not the time to save money you know, on the car accessories. This is a must. All right, before I tell you the 3 and a bonus reasons why you should have one, a quick reminder: if you enjoy this type of content, and as a matter of fact, if you want to know about the future of cars, which is electric cars, you came to the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you already have, thank you, but there's more work to be done. Don't forget to click on the bell notification icon right next to the subscribe button so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, so let's get started. Number 1, and this is the most important one: accident evidence. All right, so sooner or later, unfortunately, you will get into an accident, whether it's going to be a major accident, hopefully not, or somebody will just rear-end you. A lot of times people will lie, right? So here's a footage from my dash cam. As a matter of fact, the one that I showed you. As you can see, of course, Prius is T-boning somebody on the intersection here in Sacramento, and the light is green for the car that I'm following. Now, luckily everyone was okay. I shared my footage with both parties, and you know, the Prius driver admitted that's fault, but a lot of people don't. I've seen some accidents when people, you know, lie, and then I bring my dash cam footage and the right party wins. And you know, sooner or later I will probably have to use it for myself. Luckily I haven't been in an accident where I needed to do that. So this is why. Accident evidence, especially for yourself. This is how it's going to pay for itself, right? You won't have to pay a deductible if it's not your fault, and you can prove that, and you won't get a point on your driving record if they decide that it's a 50-50 without the video evidence. So this thing will pay for itself most likely if you have an accident, hopefully not. All right, number 2, and it's surveillance. Now, in some cars, and most cars, but you can buy a little adapter where the installer can wire it into your battery so that when you leave your car, the camera keeps running. So therefore, if something happens to your car while you're gone, it will still be recording. For example, a lot of Tesla owners know this image. Now, this is not my car that I've had that happened to my Tesla, and that's the one that had this camera, you know, people just crash the car. There's tons of footage from Tesla when people just crash the car. You will also have the video evidence even when you're gone. So that's pretty important. It's an important thing to have. Or sometimes somebody will just run into your car while it's parked. That has happened before. All right, let's move on to number 3. Before that, a quick reminder that this video and this channel is sponsored by Byton. Check out their all-electric SUV coming to the US and Europe next year. It's absolutely free to make a reservation, so go to the description of this video and reserve your Byton today. And Avanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. Use E4 Electric, the name of this channel, for purchases over $100 to get a discount. All right, so let's move on to the third reason why you should have a dash cam, and that's home security. So obviously you park your car, let's say in a driveway or at a curbside, whether you live in an apartment complex or a house. Whatever happens at night or while you're gone, if the camera continuously records, just like when you're away from the car when it's a parking lot, essentially that becomes your home security camera. My car, I park it in the garage, but even then I made use of it. So for example, about a couple years ago, my alarm would go off in the middle of the night, and I get scared, grab my bat, my pepper spray, and I run around and trying to figure out what to do. Well, it turns out my motion sensor in my garage kept being triggered, and I'm like, no one's here. So then I went to my car, I pulled the footage. I don't have it anymore. I wish I could share it with you. And I realized there was a rat, a huge rat that was jumping all around in front of my motion sensor and triggering it. By the time I would get there, it would be gone. So, you know, essentially my dash cam served as a home security camera, and I was figuring out that I have to call the rodent service, which I now use regularly for this not to happen. All right, so if all these 3 things have not convinced you, there's one more, and this goes for the cameras that have sound. Audio evidence, right? So sometimes when there's an accident or people arguing back and forth, whatever you say, whatever that other person says, you know, that's also evidence. So it's good to have audio. For example, if a police officer stops you and the conversation that you're having, sometimes people like to have evidence of that. Or maybe you're having an argument with your wife and you want to make sure to prove yourself right and play the audio of your conversation back, because that's how good marriages work. Well, you can do that as well. So as you can see, there are multiple uses, but most of these cameras, you can still turn that sound off. So if you don't want your wife pulling that footage and then proving you wrong, well, you can mute the audio, and so it will be just a video recording. So I gotta tell you, if this does not convince you to go right now, maybe not run outside to Best Buy or whatever, but go to Amazon and order one, I don't know what will. If you do have questions, definitely let me know in the comment section of this video. I'm looking forward to those. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.